You are requested to use Agile project management, right? And so I want to see an evidence of Agile project that you have conducted an Agile project management. This is an example. So you can see one, you will show your WBS and your Gantt chart. You will show me that you have applied Agile, because if I see this, I can see that you have managed sprints in Agile, and I can see the sprint and work in progress under Agile. So, and I should be able to see the sprint, okay? So to do that, I'll build a simple project in Agile. So when you go to this software, first you need to go to project, and then you click on Agile. So you select Scrum or Kanban. Now, if you use Kanban, you are going to have what we call project backlog. And so your project will go towards you use backlog, okay? And if you choose Scrum, which I say most of you should just decide to use this because it's easier to manage. So you choose Scrum. Now, I expect that you give me a screenshot of this to show me that you have selected Scrum. So in your report, you are supposed to give me a screenshot because they say discuss project management and also tools that you have used in your coursework. So here you just put the screenshot. So this is the screenshot and evidence. Yeah, it's an example. And then I go back there. So I choose Scrum. Now, one thing you should discover, I am already in Scrum. This is going to generate my Gantt chart, WPS, and my Gantt chart. So, task 1, I go planning, okay? And you can see, so I need to create resources, right? So I will double click here, I will go to resources, and I will say, I have what? Project manager. Okay. I have coder, I have designer, I have account, I have stakeholder, okay? I have in Agile, you have the sprint manager, okay? For Agile, I have the sprint manager. So these are tasks that you have to assign tasks to people, right? So, and then I also have teams, like collections of people that you want to use. So, okay, now, so for planning, I want the manager as well as the stakeholders. They are going to do planning together. So you can see here, you have manager, coder, and this. But what you need to do is, you don't need all of them, right? You don't need all of them, because this resources just assign everybody to the planning here. So next, you have something like execution. You have something like deployment. You have close up, yeah? You're closing up your project, something like this. So you specify, you have the duration, you have the start date, and you have the finish date, right? This is basic thing that you do. Now, so in your planning, you can see automatically it comes into what? Sprint, okay? So first, now, new task, I have planning. So I can put planning in sprint 1. Yeah? Planning is in sprint 1. So if I go to sprint now, current sprint, I can see that planning is in current sprint. And in the board status, it's not started yet. And the resource is what? Project manager. Yeah? So when you do the right thing, this place will be populated. You chop ein. And you chop ein, and you put in your report as evidence. Okay? So you put in your report as evidence. Yeah? Right? Very easy. And so this is under Spring. And if I go to the current Springboard, I can see that in the current Springboard, I have what? Planning project. And from this one, I can put this one in next up, or I can put it in progress. Yeah? So if I put it in next up, it is already there, so I can see that you can see all. This one is already in sprint 1. Execution is not in sprint already. So you have to do it according to Agile, because the coursework states that the developer said he is going to use Agile methodology. How can you get all the high requirements without doing project management? Oh, it's not possible. And the coursework hides a lot of things they did not tell you. It means that you already learned from other classes. You're supposed to bring them and what? Add up and synergize. So I see nobody has project management, which is a must. If you read the coursework here, this is the coursework specification. Okay, so this is the coursework specification. Here, let me just type the keyword Agile. Okay. Here, he said he was excited to use an Agile approach for the development of the new prototype. So what is the Agile approach? That's the project management. Under Agile, that is the approach. And nobody is using it. And I make documentation, okay, project management using Agile methodology. I have stated it clearly. Right? So it means that you have to use this tool and learn how to create project management using Agile process. So this one now I can see that I have one sprint and it is planning, and which is going to work is going to do what? 56 hours. And the board status is in next up, and the resource name is a project manager. There's no deadline. You must provide a deadline. You must provide deliverables. You must provide a deadline because it's Agile, right? So that is what you can find in the current board. This is the current board, yeah? So you want to manage all, you can see number of sprint for this first one is 2 weeks. Maximum start date and end date. So it's already up here. I can see my time box here. This is time boxing. Okay? Chụp ảnh and give me evidence. Your report. Again. Make notes. And so on. Very, very easy. You can finish this coursework in 3 hours. Everything. One day, everything. Project management, everything. Right?
Mà thầy không nói là mình làm với chứng giả.
So, that is it. Under manage, you can see everything. This is Agile to proof. So if you go to Gantt chart, you can create your Gantt chart because your Gantt chart must contain predecessor and successor, right? So like this one now, the predecessor is 1. This one, the predecessor is 2. This one, the predecessor is 3. So Gantt chart is being generated automatically. Yeah? So, and you have to, before this one must be what? 100% completed. So percentage completed must be 100. Yeah? So this is 100 and this is already in work in progress, so you can put 50%. Yeah? So I should be able to see the percentage of tasks completed. Yeah? So this is also YouTube like this, and will give me evidence that okay, this thing has been done in my report. Yeah, you put evidence. I can see the percentage of completion. I can see the predecessor. I can see everything that is there. Very easy. Okay. So And again, I talked about the managerial and the technical aspect of the system. This is an example of technical specification. How can you build a system without giving the technical specification? You must have a technical specification, the hardware that you're going to use, the server, the software required. It is what it is needed. Yeah? All this you need to discuss about them. And, okay? All of this I already explained to you what it is required about this. So this is for your design, and obviously we will not do much. This is a use case, text-based use case. You can use text-based use case. I didn't find, so I cannot explain because I see nothing in your report. So I cannot, nobody has done it, so I cannot see and I cannot explain what you are doing. All of this is supposed to appear in your report. So in that case, I am going to give you a warning, and I am going to give you my report structure. But if you plagiarize my report structure, I will penalize you. Do you agree? I will give you
Như là
this
đạo
report
nhái
structure,
hoàn toàn ấy.
but you must not plagiarize it.
Plagiarize.
You know what is plagiarism?
Plagiarism. Plagiarism.
You have to do your things and you have to paraphrase by yourself. You cannot use my document. If you use my document, I will know. You cannot copy your content and put in my document. If you do that, I will know. You have to create your document. You have to write your own tables. You have to do everything by yourself. My document is only to look at it. Example, if you look at this is your question. Of course, questions can be the same, but you might paraphrase. You look at something in my example, you look at this table, you don't have to draw this table the same thing like this. You understand? You don't have to draw this table exactly like this. If you draw it exactly like this, I will check my table and I will say this is plagiarism. You must make a table different from my table, but content similar. Okay? Of course, you cannot paraphrase this project ID. You cannot say ID project. It's wrong. Right? But you can decide not to put the date here. You can decide to put the date next on here. Right? I am saying the structure must not be the same. Okay, if you decide to use the same, fine. But other tables must not be the same. That's what I'm trying to say. You must be able to what? Change something.
Creative.
Right? Of course, time boxing. You cannot keep this information in time boxing because you know why? If you, from here, I can identify your time boxing exactly from here. I can identify your time boxing from here. So from your report, I can know. So if you just leave this in your report, where is that?
Below.
If you leave this without, this must follow your agile. The weeks that is created in your agile must, so from kickoff, your planning, your investigation, your execution, your deployment, I will see it here. And it must match your project management. Do you understand? So this is not the exact time. This is not the exact time because it depends on your project. So example now, if your project from here, how many weeks is my project? From here, you can see this is 2 weeks, this is 2 weeks, this is 2 weeks. Or automatically I am having how many weeks now? 6 weeks. So it means that in this document, this must match to what? To 6 weeks. So here is 2 to 4 weeks, exceptionally 6 weeks. This is an example. In yours, you cannot have typically, so it must be what? According to my work, is 6 weeks already, right? Then I must specify the timing for this. Do you understand? Do you understand? So, how long you spend in investigation or in planning? Because in my project management, I have no investigation. So what do I have? I have planning. Okay? Because if you look at it here, it's planning. Yeah? So cancel. I have planning, execution, deployment, and closure. Example. So that means here, I will have planning, execution, and deployment and closure. So here I have planning here. So here, not product refinement, I have what? Execution. Okay? And deployment here. Too much of the time I spend on execution and deployment. And here, what do I have? I have a closeout. I'm closing the project. And then after closing is just a review. Then retrospective is only to think after, just thinking. Yeah. So this is exactly according to what is here. Planning, execution, deployment, closeout. I create my time box based on that. So I know what the answer is for your coursework, right? So you just have to think on what to do. So resource sheets, you can see, I can see the resource sheet shows the people who are going to work. Okay, you have to create. These are your risk view. I don't have the risk view. Tag sheets is for, the tag sheets has been displayed. So completed, you can see not completed, started. Then the tracking Gantt chart, you can see the tracking Gantt chart, okay? You can also show the calendar of activities if you want to, but all in all, you just need to be able, this is your task board, so you can see the task board, and planning is 100% and automatically move to what? Done. I didn't move this to done. It moves automatically because now if you look at here, if you come here and this task is specified to 100%, automatically, if you go to the tax board, where is that?
Yes.
Tax sheets, this is resource graph, this is resource usage. So I want to go back to okay, so this has been executed as 100%.
Should we put it all in unhurried?
Some tax, of course, you are completing the tax, so you have to specify it is completed or not.
So it's okay to be 50 or 60?
Towards the end. Towards the end, but from the first to the middle must be completed in order to show that you have completed the task. Yes, because Agile project is incremental. It means every week you have to provide the milestone, complete the task. Every week you have to complete the task, right? So, so in this, where is that? Okay, so in this Fact sheet. Dashboard, you can see execution also has become what? Done, right? Because you have specified it is 100%, so it is done. So I should be able to see the ability that you have utilized what this project very well. Okay? So these are your things, these are your project, these are your reviews, and this is your Scrum back to your sprint. So this is it. Planning is 56 hours, okay, and it is done. You go to current sprint board, you can see, and then you go to all, you can see that 2 have been what done and 2 are not started. So you just need to be able to provide us with the agile methodology. Yeah, come and give me an email. Come and give me an email. Sir, come and give me an email. In your report, you are supposed to have pseudocode.
For what? For
You're
what?
supposed to write a pseudocode for one component.
Code giả cho
Okay, I put an example here. This is an example of a pseudocode. You can see the way I write this pseudocode here. If you write pseudocode in Microsoft Word like this for me, I will cancel. I will not accept it. Okay? The way you can do it, if you observe this, I created a table. Can you see? I created a table and I create a columns and layers to give me that kind of somebody's email address is wrong. Somebody's email address is wrong. Who is that?
hình như bạn cuối sao?
This is the last one.
The last one?
It doesn't have
Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Đúng rồi. Chúng đu chuẩn bị. Dương.
Okay, so you see, start, and I created different levels. Okay, then when you finish, you remove the borders. You say no border, so you will have pseudocode like this. But if you cannot do like this, just from your development environment, Visual Studio or whatsoever environment you are doing, you're using for development, you can write a pseudocode there and define the pseudocode and you put it in the Microsoft Word. You know what a pseudocode is, right? You just need one pseudocode, you don't need many. All of these components, one is okay, you don't need many. Because I saw a student that gave me about 10 pseudocode. You also have to be mindful of pages. number of pages and number of words. So be careful. So giving me 100 pages does not guarantee you will pass. Do you understand?
Oh, about 14.
And if you overpass the content also, I will penalize you. So you should be within the limits of acceptable range. Okay? Any question? Hingab, did you receive the email?
Mở ra xem.